Hey everybody, Monday night, 8:15, and we're live. I'm also going to get going on Instagram as well. So I'm doing a little tandem tonight. Just got to get going on there, and then we can get going. So, hopefully that works all right over there as well. We have, a few different, there we go, awesome, and we're going over there too. We've got a few different subjects to talk about tonight. Obviously, you guys, it is crazy hot. Hey, Pam. And I'm kind of sick of the heat. I don't know about you guys. It is pretty brutal. This like 85, 90 degree weather is just too much. Dogs don't want to do much. I don't want to do much. Hey, Cindy. And it's not that enjoyable. So we're kind of working our way through it at work. It's one of those things. We just kind of take the dogs out, hang out in the shade, and then just kind of come back in. I always say, when it's this kind of weather, it's like we gotta treat it we gotta treat the dogs like it's like 10 below sometimes, because they just want to go out, romp in the pool for a little while, and then just kind of hang out, get in the shade. So it's just some outside time, just to cool off. So you guys, tonight, as usual, every Monday, we have a number of subjects to talk about. And so here's the thing, you guys, a couple of times, when I put that post up on Facebook that, it's up to you guys as far as what subjects that you want to talk about. I'm probably not going to, because I saw some repeats from what we covered last week, so I'm probably not going to go over the same things every week. I'm going to at least try to skip a week. At least that's kind of the plan that I've got, because there was a lot of similarities from last week, and I obviously want to change it up a little bit, because we have a pretty good following here that does this every Monday night, and I want to obviously keep it fresh and not go over the same material every night. So we're going to touch on Emily Graham wanted to know about dogs going crazy at the door. Anissa Parrott wanted to know about recall, and Lisa Desjardins wanted to know about keeping dogs hydrated, which, you guys, when it's hot like this, we got to keep them hydrated. That's all there is to it, and we'll touch on that as well. So, there was one about proper introductions between dogs, and I think we kind of covered that last week, and there's some other things too. So I just want to let you guys know that I'm going to change this up week by week. So if I skip over your question that we put up on that you put up on the comments under the post for the weekend about going live, it's probably because we covered it the week before, and I'll try to do well about letting you know that we covered it the week before, because obviously if you go back on the Facebook page, you'll see it there from the prior week. And I also try to take these segments, you guys, and also put them up onto the Dog Trainer Daily segments on YouTube as well. So at least there's a way to go back easily, rather than trying to dig through. In a week I might put up 15 or 20 posts, so instead of scrolling back through all that, it'll just be on our YouTube page. So that's what's going on there. I'm trying to think of what else we have going on before I get started. We've got our big Celebration of Dogs event in August 25th. Just confirmed 802 Disc Dogs is coming, so there's going to be a disc dog demonstration. There's going to be a couple of those happening. We've got our pack walk. We've got a lady that's making grain-free CBD dog treats right here in Vermont. She's going to be there, and obviously WLVB is doing a remote. Sugar Bean Treats is going to have free cupcakes. We've got Caja Madera food truck. It's a Mexican food truck that's going to be there. It's going to be so much fun. We're kind of rallying the troops here. There's a lot going on. Pet Food Warehouse is actually donating a big gift basket, which is very cool. Last year it was huge. Huge. And we are also not raffling, but we're giving away a lot of prizes. And the way to enter, you gotta get into our office, number one, fill out an entry form and put it in the box. Or if you stop at Guy's Farm and Yard in Morrisville. So we're going to be giving away a training spot to our 6-week class. That's number one. And you guys, we're also giving away a Confidence Builder board and train. It's a 2-week board and train. That is our grand prize, and it's valued at about $2,300. So it's probably worth it. There is no cost to enter. and we're going to have a bunch of other prizes too. I think we figured it's going to be over $3,000 worth of prizes of stuff that we're giving away. We're pretty darn close to it, something like that. I didn't add it up to the penny, but that's what's happening. So be sure, you guys, those boxes should go up here in the next week or so we can get you entered as well. So that's really what's going on. And then obviously this Saturday I'm headed to New Hampshire for that one-day workshop that is currently booked. So if you're going, great. If you're not, we're hoping to get, see what kind of turnout there is, and we'll see if we get another one scheduled. So I think that's all housekeeping for now. But we'll get right into this, you guys. So Emily Graham said dogs, are going crazy at the door when people come over. I think there's a big I don't know if it's a misconception, but I feel like, after watching a lot of Dog Whisper episodes, there's a lot of situational training that I get asked for. And this is one of those situations. Meaning, what do I do when people come over? And people want that answer of what to do in that moment, right then and there. And you guys, if I haven't seen your dogs react, or if I haven't seen, video of it and what your dogs are like normally, there's a lot to go with that question. I mean, it's easily it would be easy to sit there and say, hey, you just have to give them a big correction and then everything will be fine. And I think there's better ways around that instead of doing like the big corrections kind of thing. I like the idea of staging things at the door. And I think this is the misconception too about Dog Whisperer, is that Caesar, and by the way, you guys, I was a huge fan of Dog Whisperer. I'm still a fan of Caesar. But I think this is where everybody comes through with these questions, is everybody wants that answer of, hey, this is what's happening right now. Yasmin, I just saw that. I'll give me a second. I'll try to get to you with that, okay? So hopefully you can hang on for a little bit. I think that was Yasmin. Anyways, so I like staging things first. So to me, and Emily has a couple of dogs. I know that because she's one of our clients. She has a couple of dogs. So to me, I want to stage it with one dog, probably the one that's a little bit more excited first, with nobody at the door. So I may have the dog on a leash, and I'm going to try to find those triggers to see what it is to make that dog go crazy. And it might be the doorknob. It might be the way it opens. It might be the sound it makes. It might be how you reach for the doorknob. There's those certain types of situations that they're going to be the triggers that really get your dog going. That's what you have to work on for a while. Also to show your dog that there's nobody on the other side of that door. And I feel like we have to get that under control first with one dog, get that squared away, and then we work with the other dogs separately. And then there comes a time where we're working both dogs together and then working them through that issue of opening that door and shutting that door. Trying to control 2 dogs, 3 dogs, 4 dogs, 5 dogs at the front door can be super difficult to do. And especially when you don't recognize like who's the more excited one, who's the more kind of, back of the pack kind of dog. So there's a number of dynamics that go along with that. That being said, that's where staging comes into play to me. I really want to stage that first. Once you feel like you have things under control at the door before you have anybody there, meaning you have things under control with nobody around, then when you feel like we're good, that's when I would call one of your friends and say, hey, this is what I'm working on. I want to have you just kind of be a guinea pig outside the door, completely ignore my dogs. Like they don't even exist. You've never met them. You don't even, they're not even there. Because a lot of times those dogs that get very excited at the door is because the person coming in is very excited to see them. And that does not help your cause as the dog owner at all. Zero, zilch, none. That does not help you. That actually really hampers, what you're trying to do. That's why you got to call a good friend and say, hey, this is really, I need your help here. So I'm trying to control that excitement. When the dogs go berserk, I think, okay, intense excitement, we've got to work on simmering that down. So that's really where it boils down to. I think that excitement is something that you have to sometimes wait out. Sometimes it's happening close to the door. Sometimes it's happening a long ways from the door. So it's just one of those situations. You have to take your time. You have to do some leash work. If you want to make your dog sit, whatever. It's hard for me to paint that picture, but I'll we probably need a video of sorts of, I'm trying to think of the best way to do that. I'm not sure how to do it, but maybe I'll try to figure out how to do it eventually. But so I have this thing from, I think, one of my clients, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens coming from Instagram here. And while we're waiting, we're waiting. Huh, I guess Instagram, you can request a video chat maybe during all this. I've never done this with Instagram at the same time, so it's kind of weird. I've got this two different things going on. I see video. Can you hear me? Nope. Didn't work. Okay. Anyways, so Kelly's got a good comment here. She says, you taught us that it takes 30 to 45 days to change a behavior, and that is the truth. It takes time, but worth it in the end. Yeah, it does. I think that's the big misconception about everything, is that it's 30 to 45 days. Sometimes you can change things quickly, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it will last. Do you know what I mean? And that's where that sustainability comes into play. It can be tough sometimes, but that's really what it boils down to. Next question was Anissa Parrott about recall. And you guys, you've probably heard me say this before, and I'm going to say it again because I feel like it needs to get reiterated and talked about and all that kind of stuff. Here's the thing. To get a good, reliable, really reliable recall, meaning under major distractions, it takes you working with your dog 2 to 3 times a day for about 6 weeks with a leash and food or whatever combination that you want to use. It takes some time because it's just your voice. Flip the script. We talk about remote collars or e-collars. You can do it in about 2. So there's your answer with that. What I am also saying is that when it comes time to using that e-collar, I do not suggest anybody goes out and buys an e-collar and tries to do it yourself. I'm not saying come to Vermont Dog Boarding and Behavior, come see me because I'm the one that you need to train with. Nope, I'm saying go find a professional in your area that has a lot of experience with a remote collar, and that person can do it for you. So please don't misconstrue this as I'm saying don't go buy one, come to me. You guys know me. I'm not pitching stuff left and right and everything. Obviously, if you want your dog trained, I'd love to help you out, but there's a lot of really just amazing trainers in this country, and chances are wherever you're at, I can probably find something near you one way or the other. So anyways, so that's my first little spiel on recall. Second thing is, now we've got to put that into the realistic world, right? Because you guys aren't dog trainers. You don't go to work to be a dog trainer every day. You're dog owners. And what kind of time do you have to put into play to be able to work your dog this way? And you guys, it takes time. That's all I can really suggest. That being said, I've got recall videos on YouTube. I can't really demonstrate right now. My dogs are old, and Gemma's sleeping in her crate. I had to put her up, you guys. Last week she was a little fidgety down here and everything. So, but Corey, nice to have you on too. I don't know what Closer is, but you guys, we had somebody book a training with us from Hartford, Connecticut. That's over 4 hours away, just like Miss Kelly popped on here a little earlier with a comment. It's still just like I'm shocked. We even found a trainer closer to them too for them, and they were like, "What? You don't want our dog? You don't want to train our dog?" So it was kind of funny that we're like, "No, we totally would, want to help you out, but we just found somebody closer. Thought it would be easier for you." And they said, "Nope. They're from Hartford, and they're gonna bring their dog up to us." So, Corey, unless you're in Buffalo, somebody just went up to you. So, I always tell people too, Corey, you're in upstate New York. I always tell people you only need to make the trip twice. That's it. Once to bring the dog, once to pick it up. Everything else can be done over Skype and the use of our wonderful technology. That's really what it boils down to. So, Anissa, back to the recall. I would suggest that you go to the Dog Trainer Daily segments on YouTube, and I'm not sure which one. I can try to find it for you as far as which episode to go to. but I can remember doing some and recording it in our training room, and I'll try to find it for you, and I'll try to post a link on this maybe tomorrow. I don't know if I'll be able to get to it tonight or not, but so I wish I could help you out more with that, but I'd much rather just give you the video and say, hey, this is what I did, this is what I do, with a whole explanation to it, because I could sit here and paint this picture for you, but it's not going to give you the reaction of seeing a dog and how it moves and what I'm doing and that kind of stuff. So that being said, that's really what it boils down to. So so Lisa, this was a really good one, because I've talked about this a little bit about keeping your dogs hydrated, and obviously, you guys, it has just been a scorching hot summer. Some of these, streaks, that 7-day streak of like 90s every day is just brutal. So keeping your dog hydrated, obviously we've got to have water readily available. That's, as dog owners, we know that, okay? Extra ways you can keep them hydrated is anything frozen, like I give Gemma in the morning usually a frozen Kong that it may have either peanut butter in it, or pumpkin is a good one as well. So you can do that, give them something that's going to be cold that at least, again, obviously the peanut butter is not going to give them as much hydration as like the pumpkin would be. You guys, and I've heard some controversial things about if you should give them ice cubes or not. And it's just, one of those types of situations. I don't know. I haven't heard really bad about ice cubes, but sometimes I've read it and they're like, don't give it to them. So I always put water in my dog's food too. So I know that they are getting that hydration that maybe they might be missing out on other than their normal drinking habits. So, that's a big part of it too, is making sure that they get that water no matter what. And then you guys also, besides keeping them hydrated, keeping them cool is a good thing. They sweat through their paws, and keeping their paws cool is going to help. The dogs like the pugs, the bulldogs, that kind of thing, that really have a harder time breathing, getting their chest wet is good. Obviously nothing like super duper ice cold water, but at least cooler water and getting them cooled off that way, that's going to help as well, especially with their breathing. Swimming is obviously good. There's a good chance they're going to ingest some water there for some hydration. And you guys, I think that's really, and it's just being smart with your dog too. It's not taking the chance and letting it happen, and it's hot, they'll figure it out kind of thing. I don't know, you have to be extra cautious when it comes to that kind of stuff. And I think as dog owners we are, unless you're just a jerk and you don't care about your dog, then it's different. But, we as dog owners are always trying to, take care of our dogs, and, that's all a part of it. Amy just said, ice cubes with a piece of cheese and low sodium chicken broth. That's a great idea. And Frosty Paws ice cream for dogs. Ice cream for dogs is fine. Just make sure it's got okay ingredients in it, So, Dave Horner, I heard you're going to evaluate a couple dogs Saturday. We are bringing Reba. Can you evaluate her? She's a 3-year-old fearful red heeler. Dave, I'm not sure. There's 24 dogs that are going to be there. So, I can't answer that question until we get there and we see those dogs. I'm going to try to give the most value to the group as far as a whole is concerned, and everything to do with the body language. And so I can't say yes or no, unfortunately. I wish I could right now, but for the people that are going, I want to be able to give as much value to them. So sometimes it might be a certain dog where I'm just like, wow, this dog might be amazing for everybody to see and to learn from. And I think that's what's going to be what everybody is truly looking for. So I think that's the best way to go about it, honestly. So anyways, you guys, I'm going to probably cut this short tonight. I thank you very much for your time. I've got to get outside and take down a tent because I heard it was going to rain tonight. I was hoping to leave it up tonight because it was hot. But anyways, so I'm going to head out and do that. You guys come back next Monday night, 8:15 p.m. Instagram, I'll be live with you. Facebook, I'll be live with you. And we're probably going to talk about the workshop that I'm doing this Saturday in New Hampshire. I think a good review of that will be covered, and maybe a couple of questions as well. So you guys have a great night, and as always, reach out to me if you guys need anything. Questions, comments, and send me videos. I love seeing people's videos of dogs and what's going on, and everything. I think that would be a great, we got to take advantage of our technology, you guys. I don't know. I'm still shocked at how many people actually don't send me things to say, hey, Ian, what do you think of my dog Fido and what he's doing with Fluffy over there and the body language and yada, yada, yada. I think we can do more of that kind of stuff because I love helping you guys out. I don't know. I just enjoy it. So you guys have a wonderful night, and we'll see you next Monday, you guys.